It has been a busy morning for Pope Francis today. This morning he had Mass in the Basilica of St. Peter's to celebrate the Eucharistic Mass of the Epiphany. It is common elsewhere in the world to have Epiphany celebrated on Sunday for pastoral reasons, to allow for many people to participate. However, the Vatican still keeps the ancient tradition of Epiphany on a Wednesday. In his homily today in the Mass, Pope Francis spoke about the need, both as individuals and as communities, to devote ourselves more to worship, to learn how to contemplate the Lord as did the Magi. The Pope also said that, like the Magi, we too must allow ourselves to learn from the journey of life, marked by the inevitable inconveniences of travel as we search for the Christ. Pope Francis further invited us to cultivate a new way of seeing. He spoke of the need to transcend the visible and the superficial and allow ourselves to worship the Lord, who is often hidden in our everyday situations, in the poor and in the fringe of, and in those who are on the fringe of society. And as we said, because of COVID-19 restrictions, even in the Basilica this morning, the Holy Father had a limited audience. Dear brothers and sisters, good afternoon. Today we celebrate the solemnity of the Epiphany, that is the manifestation of the Lord to all people. In fact, the salvation wrought by Christ knows no boundaries. Epiphany is not an additional mystery. It is always the same event as the Nativity. Viewed, however, from the dimension of light, the light that illuminates every man and woman, the light to be welcomed in faith, and the light to bring to others in charity through witness in the proclamation of the gospel. Isaiah's vision, reported in today's liturgy, resounds in our time and is more timely than ever. Darkness covers the earth, and the thick darkness the people. That's from Isaiah. With the background, the prophet announces the light given by God to Jerusalem and destined to shine on the path of all the people. This light has the power to attract everyone, near and far. Everyone sets out on the path to reach it. It is a vision that opens the heart, that makes the breath come out easier, that invites hope. Certainly, the darkness is present and threatening in everyone's life and in the story of humanity. But God's light is more powerful. It needs to be welcomed so that it might shine on everyone. We might ask ourselves, what is that light? The prophet Isaiah caught a glimpse of it from far, but that it was already enough to fill the heart of Jerusalem with this irrepressible joy. What is the light? The evangelist Matthew, in his turn, recounting the episode of the Magi, shows that this light is the baby of Bethlehem. It is Jesus. Even if in his kingship was not accepted by everyone. Others refused his kingship, like Herod. He is the star who appeared on the horizon, the awaited Messiah, the one through whom God would inaugurate his kingdom of love, of justice, and of peace. He was born not only for some, but for all men and women, for all people. The light is for all. Salvation is for all. And how does this radiation come? How does Christ's light shine in every place and at every moment? It has its own method. Not through the powerful means of this world's empires, who always seek to seize power. No. The light of Christ is proclamation of the gospel. With this method, God chose to come among us, the incarnation. That is by drawing near to the other, encountering the other, assuming the reality of the other, giving testimony to our faith. This is the only way that God's light, who is love, can shine in those who welcome it and attract others. The light of Christ is not just about words, lots of words, and fake words. No. The faith, the word, the testimony is how we spread the light of Christ. The star is Christ. But we too can and must also be the star for our brothers and our sisters as testimony and witnesses of the treasures of goodness and infinite mercy. The light of Christ is not through proselytism, but through testimony, by confessing our faith, even as martyrs. Therefore, the condition is to welcome the light within, to welcome always more. Woe to us if we think we possess it, that if we think we only need to manage it. Like the Magi, we too are called to allow ourselves to be fascinated, attracted, guided, illuminated, and converted by Christ. He is the journey of faith. Through prayer and the contemplation of God's works, who continually fills us with every new joy and wonder. Wonder is always something new. It's the first step towards the light. Let us invoke the protection of Mary on the universal church so that it might spread through the entire word of the gospel of Christ. Lumen Gentium, the light of every people.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Santa Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ecce ancilla Domini.
Fiat mi secundum verbum tuum.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Santa Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Et verbum caro factum est.
Et habitavit in nobis.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Santa Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ora pro nobis, Santa Dei Genitrix.
Ut igne ficiamur promissionibus Christi.
Grazie a Tua, anque sumo Domine, mentibus nostris infunde, ut angelo nunziante, Christi Fili Tua incarnazione coniovi, per passione meius et crucem, a resurrezione gloriam perducamo, per Christum Dominum nostrum.
Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Pro fidelibus defuntis, requiem aeternam dona eis Domine.
Et lux perpetua luceat eis.
Requiescant in pace.
Amen.
Sit nomen Domini benedictum.
Ex hoc nunc et usque in saeculum.
Aiutorium nostrum in nomine Domini.
Qui feci caelum et terram.
And now the Pope is going to give a blessing to all of us.
Omnipotens Deus, Pater, et Filius, et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen.
Amen.
Cari fratelli e sorelle,
Dear brothers and sisters,
seguo con attenzione e preoccupazione
I'm following with
eventi nella
worry
Repubblica Centrafricana.
events that are happening in the
Sono
Central African
recentemente svolte le
Republic.
elezioni con le quali il popolo ha manifestato
The people
il desiderio di
manifested their
proseguire
desire during the
sulla via della
elections
pace.
in which they wanted to follow the way of
Invito
peace.
perciò tutte le parti a un dialogo fraterno
I
e
invite
rispettoso,
all people to
a
dialogue
respingere l'odio e
and to
evitare ogni
refuse
forma di
hatred
violenza.
and any violence.
Mi rivolgo con affetto ai fratelli e alle sorelle delle chiese orientali,
With effect, I turn to
oltre
the
che
people,
ortodosse,
the Orthodox and
che
Oriental
secondo la
churches,
loro tradizione
whom according to their tradition,
celebrano domani il
tomorrow
Natale del Signore.
will celebrate their Christmas,
Ed
the
essi
birth of
rivolgo
Christ.
il più sentito augurio di un Santo Natale, nella luce di
I
Cristo,
wish
nostra
them,
pace e nostra
the
speranza.
Holy Father, wishing those from the Oriental and Orthodox churches will be
L'odierna festa
celebrating
dell'Epifania
Christmas
si celebra
tomorrow.
la giornata mondiale dell'infanzia missionaria,
Today
che
is also
coinvolge tanti bambini e
the
ragazzi di tutto il mondo.
day when we celebrate
Ringrazio ciascuno di loro
with the Pontifical Mission
dell'incoraggio ad
Societies
essere testimoni gioiosi di Gesù,
and invites
cercando sempre di portare fraternità in mezzo ai coetanei.
everybody and young people to continue
E
being
rivolgo
good
il mio cordiale
testimonies,
saluto a tutti voi che siete
to-
collegati attraverso i mezzi di comunicazione.
and also wishes all
Un
of
saluto
us
speciale
who
va
are
alla
following
Fondazione
him
Corteo dei Re Magi,
on
organizza in
on
numerose
this media,
città e
wherever
villaggi
you are.
della Polonia e di altre nazioni eventi di evangelizzazione e di solidarietà.
You offer special
A tutti
greetings to
auguro una buona
Poland
festa.
and wishes all of
Per
us
favore, non dimenticatevi di pregare per me.
a good Epiphany and not to remember and not to forget to pray for the Holy Father. Enjoy your lunch and arrivederci, as he always concludes. Holy Father making a special appeal for Central African Republic, which had elections but are being destabilized by some rebels in the region. And that brings us to the end of the Angelus on the solemnity of the Epiphany.